One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten? A woman should soften, but not weaken a man. Religious doctrines are all illusions. They do not admit of proof, and no one can be compelled to consider them as true or to believe in them. Everywhere I go I find a poet has been there before me. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. Immorality, no less than morality, has at all times found support in religion. The madman is a dreamer awake. Religion is an illusion, and it derives its strength from the fact that it falls in with our instinctual desires. The virtuous man contents himself with dreaming that which the wicked man does in actual life. He does not believe that does not live according to his belief. America is a mistake, a giant mistake. Beauty has no obvious use, nor is there any clear cultural necessity for it. Yet civilization could not do without it. My love is something valuable to me which I ought not to throw away without reflection. The intention that man should be happy is not in the plan of creation. Men are more moral than they think and far more immoral than they can imagine. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness. Loneliness and darkness have just robbed me of my valuables. The more the fruits of knowledge become accessible to men, the more widespread is the decline of religious belief. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. The ego is not master in its own house. How bold one gets when one is sure of being loved. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea. They become powerless when they oppose it. Public self is a conditioned construct of the inner psychological self. There are no mistakes. Love in the form of longing and deprivation lowers the self-regard. The dream is the liberation of the spirit from the pressure of external nature, a detachment of the soul from the fetters of matter. In matters of sexuality we are at present, every one of us, ill or well, nothing but hypocrites. You wanted to kill your father in order to be your father yourself. Now you are your father, but a dead father. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. America is the most grandiose experiment the world has seen, but I am afraid it is not going to be a success. In mourning it is the world which has become poor and empty. In melancholia it is the ego itself. Smoking is indispensable if one has nothing to kiss. A religion, even if it calls itself a religion of love, must be hard and unloving to those who do not belong to it. Human life should not be considered as the proper material for wild experiments. Civilized society is perpetually menaced with disintegration through this primary hostility of men towards one another. Dreams are never concerned with trivia. Anatomy is destiny. Man has, as it were, become a kind of prosthetic god. Where such men love they have no desire, and where they desire they cannot love. How bold one gets when one is sure of being loved. Time spent with cats is never wasted. He who knows how to wait need make no concessions. It is impossible to overlook the extent to which civilization is built up upon a renunciation of instinct. I never want to belong to any club that would have someone like me as a member. Dream is the dreamer's own psychical act. Everyone owes nature a death. The unconscious of one human being can react upon that of another without passing through the conscious. Nothing that is mentally our own can ever be lost. If children could, if adults knew. We are what we are because we have been what we have been. Neurosis is no excuse for bad manners. When one does not have what one wants, one must want what one has. The weakness of my position does not imply a strengthening of yours. Places are often treated like persons. All neurotics, and many others besides, take exception to the fact that inter urinas et feces nascimer. Please share your favorite Sigmund Freud quote in the comments area. For further updates, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thanks for tuning in.